Guten Morgen, Zurich.
Guten Morgen.
How are you?
Grüezi miteinander, I would say. In Swiss German would be Grüezi miteinander.
Grüezi
Swiss
miteinander.
German is a bit
Grüezi
different than
miteinander.
German. Yeah.
Exactly.
That means altogether hello.
I know. Ich hab ja ein halbes Jahr in Saint-Imier verbracht.
Okay, das wusste ich aber nicht, dass du
Ja?
so gut Deutsch sprichst. I
Habe bei
didn't know you
Longines
speak so
gearbeitet.
well German.
Ja, war auch 2 Jahre in Düsseldorf und 1 Jahr an der Uni in München.
Aber die Aussprache ist auch toll. I mean, your accent is almost in non-existent. Wonderful.
I'm a master of intrigue. I'm like James Bond.
Wonderful. Let's see what else we can find out.
Except I'm older and uglier. Welcome to BrandDIY, Sasha. Sasha, you are the founder and the CEO of a very cool company that I think fills a beautiful niche for entrepreneurs who are in the BrandDIY group. That is, you help people figure out how to advertise more effectively using social media.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah. And plus you're in Zurich. So, I mean, you're in Switzerland, which makes you cool already. So I like international guests because it makes me feel smarter.
Okay, let me give you actually top 3 reasons why we are in Zurich and Switzerland. I used to live in Vancouver in Canada. And yeah, you also did know about that.
No.
So we're almost neighbors. I believe you're based in Victoria.
But I used to be in Vancouver. I used to live in Vancouver too.
Okay, yeah. Well, the difference between Vancouver and Victoria that Victoria has palms and Vancouver doesn't. Yeah, because you're a tiny notch warmer climate. So actually one of the main reasons why Nanos, my company and myself are in Switzerland is because I used to work for one of the largest entertainment companies in the world, Walt Disney Company, in their research lab in Zurich. And it was 7 long years in a corporate environment. It was very, very interesting because I got to meet a lot of very cool people, storytellers from the Walt Disney Company, but also researchers who work on a very top-notch secret technologies that are being developed in the Walt Disney Company. And I was leading an innovation group for, like I said, almost 7.
Stop. You were in what group?
I was leading an innovation group in Disney Research Lab.
How many people just stop. The interview is over. How many people get to say that? That is the coolest job I could ever imagine. I mean, that's even cooler than selling windsurfers in Greece. What a cool job. Why did you leave that? That sounds like the best job ever.
I'll give you top 5 reasons why I left this job, but let's finish the reasons why Nanos is in Switzerland. Well, the long story short, mainly for its access to top-notch research talent, because Nanos is a machine learning company before everything else. And where do you find top machine learning engineers? Of course, where are the top technical universities located? And Switzerland is famous for 2 universities. One is in Zurich, and another one is in the French part of Switzerland. So we are working closely with ETH, the Federal Institute of Technology here in Zurich. This is probably a major reason why our R&D unit is in Zurich, and myself also.
Cool. It's much cooler than Geneva too.
Well, we're a bit further away from the mountains. So if you're up for skiing, you know, it takes maybe 1 hour for it to get to the mountains. So it's considered far, right?
But Geneva is so boring.
No, it's not. No, it's not.
It's boring. I always said, because I used to take weekends in Geneva, and when we went there, I was like, nothing ever happens. And you know, all the arms dealers and all the deal makers are all in Geneva, but nothing ever happens. I don't know.
Well, Zurich is much different. It's very vibrant here, in particular the ecosystem for startups. We have lots of technical startups. I am myself involved in 3 startups. In one, I'm very active. I'm the CEO, and the other 2, I'm an active founder and advisor. But you know, it's really booming. We have so many really cool technologies that are being developed by former students, and Nanos was also created with my former students I worked with together at Disney Research. So it's really the place to be in Europe if you are planning on developing really cool technology.
Well, you're an awesome addition to the group. I think that you'll make a terrific resource. And I know there's just even for perspective, I think it's a wonderful thing. So talk to me. How did you come up with the idea of Nanos? Why a company to help small companies, medium-sized companies advertise on social media? What's the story?
Well, first of all, I'm very happy to contribute and be your Swiss member of your community. So I'm happy to take on any questions afterwards. If anybody has any questions about startups in Switzerland and what it takes to build a startup in Switzerland and to grow. Nanos is has a very interesting story. So I came up with the idea in 2015 when I was still working at Disney Research, and I actually talked to a friend of mine who was a freelancer, a language teacher, and he came to me. Mind you, it was 2015. Don't forget that. So he came to me and he said, "Hey, Sasha, you know so many people in Switzerland. How about you? I just printed these business cards," and he shows me a stack of business cards printed, fresh. And he told me, "How about I give you those, and you distribute it among all your friends. Maybe somebody one day needs a language teacher." And he was teaching 7 languages natively. That's remarkable. So he's quite a unique character. And I looked at him and I thought he was joking. So I thought, okay, why do you give me your business cards? Don't you have a website? I'm happy to distribute the link. Maybe one day somebody needs your services. He said, "Well, I don't have a website." Then I said, "Well, that's really easy to fix. Guess what? I'm working in a research organization. We have lots of interns. I just asked somebody to help you to build your website and you're all set." So long story short, 1 month later, he comes to me, he grabs me actually literally, and he says, "Hey, Sasha, I put you this stack of business cards on your desk, and please don't forget to distribute those when you have a moment." And I said, "Hey, did we build your website? I looked at it, it looks wonderful." And then he said, "Yes, but nobody calls me." And he shakes his phone straight into my face. "Nobody calls me." And then I thought, wow, this was this aha moment when I thought, how many are of such small business owners, freelancers are out there who don't have marketing knowledge, no technical background, no design background or bigger budgets to spend when they want to be visible online. So this all made me think,
All of us. I'll give you the answer. All of us.
97% of population, in fact, fall into that category. It's truly so. And even, sometimes if I talk to people who are a bit more technical and I would ask them, "Hey, you're running a business, what would you put in your ad?" They would start thinking, and sometimes it takes hours to really think through what you want to put in your ad, or where should you advertise, or what budget should you spend, and then afterwards how you could optimize those ads so they actually perform. Because marketing is not a science per se, it is very experimental. If you have big budget to spend to experiment, what ad creators work for you, which platforms work for you, what kind of attributions of the ad work for you, then of course you're all set if you can spend this type of money, or maybe you can hire a marketing agency or have a marketing team in-house, even better. But not everybody has such big budgets to spend, and since you can only experiment so much, and then maybe you place, I don't know, you do 70 tests, and actually only test number 99 would actually bring you really invaluable insights about your business, so what's best for your business and where to advertise and how to advertise. But do you have the patience to run all these tests? Of course, maybe not.
No.
And this is the case for so many businesses, even medium-sized enterprises. We see the same pattern. It's really a lot about experimenting and thinking, and also relying on the previous data from your ads, or maybe ads of your competitors, if you have access to that. And of course, this is something that is really one of the key value propositions for everybody who would be using Nanos or already using Nanos is, in fact, without much marketing background or bigger budgets, Nanos can help you to experiment, hold you by the hand, literally, give you suggestions powered by artificial intelligence and previous campaign data. Because if you have, for instance, you run a business, let's make an example, you run a flower shop. in Victoria and you run a flower shop in Vancouver, you're directly not competing with each other. But it would be very valuable if your flower shop in Victoria could benefit from some of the insights that flower shop in Vancouver already has. And why not? Nowadays everything moves online, and this is again a very powerful. Nano becomes a very powerful tool for people who are forced to move online, and they simply, they're novice users. They would love to maybe even learn something about marketing, but it really takes time. There's so much information, so much content out there.
It's funny because this is, I think, the number one problem that I'm seeing with entrepreneurs and people who are, they have a new idea. And let's face it, the economy is melting down, and at least in North America, and there are companies aren't bringing the jobs back. And there's so many people who are either voluntarily or not voluntarily becoming entrepreneurs because they have to. And we're sitting here. I mean, I come from a background where I had an entire media company placing media for me. Now I use an agency to place, with BrandDIY. I'm gonna be working with a small team. It's like a Hollywood production to place my media for me. But not everybody's that lucky. And what I see, the biggest problem is that everybody has a specific solution. None of them are connected. And so the Nanos thing where you just go, you know what, you plug your message in here and we go out and try stuff in a whole bunch of different places and come back and say, this worked, this didn't work. It seems like a friendly way to get your message out there without having to deal with 50 different people. And that's sort of the mission of it, isn't it? Like a friendly way to lead people into this.
Exactly. So, and more so, we also now started working, as of last 4 or 5 months, started working with marketing agencies, because now marketing agencies are being swamped with clients, and they also have now receiving clients who, again, don't have bigger budgets to advertise on, but still for marketing agency, it's a lot of effort to optimize the campaigns. They could, for instance, help and walk you by the hand what to put in your ads, or maybe do it for you, but the campaign optimization is something that takes a lot of time and effort, and you have to put together lots of Excel sheets and go into each and every account, extract the information, look for meaningful insights, and then coordinate the next actions items with the client. So this is all a lot to ask from a marketing agency, let's say boutique size, 10 people plus, who would all of a sudden are struggling with the increased demand from small business owners, entrepreneurs, omnipreneurs, and so on. Yeah.
It's funny because I come from a very big agency background. I had lots of people working for me. I was sitting in the corner office and had all these resources. And then I went away and I started my own agency with none of the resources and ran that for 5 years. And now I'm a consultant with even less resources. And I hear these stories about ad agencies who are using tools that I use. And you're going, why are you doing that? Well, because economy, they don't have the talent anymore inside the agency, but you're going, oh my God, I see the writing on the wall that the end is coming, because, I, with this, can do what I used to do with 30 people in a media department. It is possible, probably even better, because your way of monitoring is faster, and probably with machine learning, it probably learns good behaviors quicker than somebody in a media department. So now talk to me, how does that actually work? Walk me through it. I want to put an ad out for BrandDIY. What do I do?
Yeah. Just to give you a little bit of information before I walk you through the process, which is actually really simple. What's important to understand is, again, AI technology can really automate everything that you could first foremost can put into words, because if something that you cannot really put into words to explain, then technology will also have really trouble understanding. And I believe there is a lot of opportunity for computer science, computer graphic, and machine learning per se, as technologies, to take over from marketers and do it better, faster, or cheaper. However, some of the very important tasks, for instance, like branding, is really, really hard to delegate. And this is something that would really stay for a long, long time with the humans, just because, you know, for the ad creative, for the ad text, for the brand voice, it's still really, it's required that you have somebody, well, in your case, you're lucky, you have your own book related to.
Well, you see, that's the thing. That's
focused on branding, so it's
I've
not
always
really
thought about this. You know, I wrote a book about this called "Didn't See It Coming," how, you know, technology and disruption happens. And I've always pushed myself to go, what can I do that the machines can't do? And I think you have to ask yourself that every day, because just last week, a friend of mine comes back to me and he says, guess what I found? I found a robot that writes advertising copy. I go, get out of here. He showed me the copy. It was good.
It was good. I can tell you more. We recently developed a technology for AI suggestions for ad creative, so practically ad copy text. And we wanted to test the technology. And we thought, okay, let's be really, really, you know, notorious and do a really thorough test. So we conducted a user study, and we created 2 ad sets from 5 websites. Well, these were landing pages, websites, and product pages. And we created 2 ad sets for each website, for each business. It was a tea shop that sells tea online and something else. And 2 ad sets. One ad set was ad was created by a marketer, and another ad set which was created by machine. But what our user study participants did not know, that the second ad set was created by machine. They were just asked to choose, do they like the ad? Do they find this ad being grammatically correct? And the third question was, do they find the ad content truthful to the website, to the original text?
Mm-hmm.
And believe it or not, 80% of user study participants, 80%, choose ad created by machine over the ad created by a human marketer. I mean, I'm not claiming machines are better than humans.
No, but what it means is that
they're not bad.
You know, there's types of ad copy. I think that if you sit back and you're inspired and you find a nice twist of the phrase, a metaphor or something like that, you know, combining a copy with a good visual, Apple advertising, Patagonia smart advertising, that's never going to be replaced. However, 99% of what I used to do as a writer is garbage. Writing brochures, writing direct mail, writing response leaflets. I would throw that at a machine if I had a chance. I'd be so happy.
Yeah, I'm sure. Yes.
And a lot of copywriters haven't evolved to the point where they go, you know, I'm going to keep doing that. No, you're not, because I can do it with a machine for $0. Anyway, we're getting off topic, but more and more stuff can be done very effectively with a machine. So let's talk about, I want to do an ad for BrandDIY. I come to you because I think I might be doing an ad for BrandDIY and coming to you. So
technology is becoming really powerful. We at Nanos, we're aiming at automating all marketing process related to all marketing processes that can be automated. So we're looking at ourselves as like a full stack solution. If you want to create an ad, you can create it with Nanos. If you need advice where to place your ad, which platforms, what budget should you spend, that's sort of the middle stage. And then the third stage would be ad optimization. On those 3 stages, on all of those 3 stages, Nanos is supporting our businesses who start an account with Nanos, which is absolutely free and takes seconds to join Nanos. So what we do, we walk user with a very simple questionnaire. So we would ask what your business industry is, what is your website, and a couple of other details about the company. And then afterwards, we would ask you questions related to specific ad. What do you think your target audience would be for this particular case? Is there any specific product page you'd like to advertise? What audience you want to reach, gender, devices, laptop, mobile, which country or which cities or which zip codes you could be really targeted, really narrow. a smaller location, Salt Spring Island, for instance. And you could then suggest what kind of budget you would like to spend. And that would be the absolute maximum that Nanos is going to spend. So Nanos will never overspend. And actually it happens more often than not that we return the budget back to the users, because we optimize it so well that, you know, our goal is not to spend daily budget in full, because if your ad is not performing really well on Facebook today, we would reshuffle the budget onto Google. And this process is happening automatically. We have a dashboard where you could always see how the money, you know, moves from one platform to another, what keywords or interests are being replaced in real time. And you see how AI is performing. You can turn it off if you see for some reason, okay, I will really try to do it myself. You are welcome to do so. But in any case, we are very transparent which keywords we're using, which interests we're using, how the targeting is happening, and so on. So back to the information. So that's pretty much it. So you give us how much money you want to spend, which platforms you want to turn on. If you agree, then we will turn off the platform down the road if it's not performing for you. And then you pretty much, I believe that's it. If you want to enter your own keywords for targeting and interests, you're welcome to do so. You also do your ad copy using AI suggestions. We have tons of suggestions in all languages you want. And you're welcome to discard those.
Okay. Real world example. I wrote this book in 2015. It's on Amazon. It sold.
That's very good icon. I love it.
Yeah, it's a good cover, eh? It's called Didn't See It Coming. And it's been on Amazon, sold well at the beginning. Now there's no sales. I'm going to take you up on this. For all you brand DIYers, I'm going to try this myself. It's listed on Amazon. That's the only place it's listed. And I'd like to sell it off of Amazon. Can you help me? Absolutely.
Absolutely. We will send traffic to your Amazon landing page of your product page.
Okay. Well, you know what? We're going to do this. This is going to be for real. And I'm going to be charting the success of this on the BrandDIY page.
Absolutely. Wonderful. So long story short, we actually almost finished. We created an ad and once you create an ad on Google and Facebook, you could choose images from our library, free library, or you could use your own images. I mean, in your case, it would be very easy. You already have lots of cool images on your website. So we will actually automatically scroll your website and suggest your images already, but you're welcome to discard those. And then afterwards, you let us know credit card or PayPal account. Mind you, we don't have access to your credit card credentials because it's all stored directly with the payment providers. And then that's it. And then you launch the campaign and then wait to see the results.
Let's start doing it. We're going to start doing it.
The process doesn't take longer than 10 minutes.
What?
Yes. Yeah.
Oh my God. I'm just so happy that I'm alive in this time, you know, because that just blew my mind. Because I remember I used to work with OND when I was in Toronto, and I worked with the media company in Toronto. And I remember walking in and there was an entire floor of people, hundreds of people booking media. And I remember then going later on when I was working with entrepreneurial companies and saying, you should advertise this. And they're like, you know, and I love this. I love having the power and the control. So I have a question. Early results, stories, uptake, how's the company doing?
Well, I'm very happy for successful cases that we have for our clients. You know, each and every client, usually there's a story behind, and I'm always very interested in keeping in touch with those, of course, as much as I can. What we know for sure, Nanos works really well for several types of industries. For instance, for automotive industry, for real estate, we have examples when somebody was advertising, actually a private individual was advertising a house somewhere in UK, quite beautiful house, and they spent something like $15. I don't remember now which platform it was, but they received something like 400 clicks, people who are interested in the ad in the house, and they received, I believe, 10 or 12 house visits within 24 hours after the ad was running. An ad was running for 2 or 3 days.
What?
It's really democratizing the online advertisement. It's really, you know, marketing is not expensive. It's experimental. And, you know, with the access, if you have access to more information, more data, of course, the more effective you become with ads.
Yeah, but hold on. You know, that's the whole thing too. Because a lot of people still plug this line. They say, you know, we all have all the data. We have all the data. And data, I wrote about it here. Data isn't what matters. It's intelligence and insight, because we're flooded in data and still making bad decisions. And I think what artificial intelligence and nano is good for, I don't want to look at the statistics, Facebook versus Twitter versus Instagram versus, I don't want to. I just want insight going, this works, Mark, more of this, stop that.
More of this, exactly, yeah. Stop with that nonsense, yeah.
We need technology that works like a butler in the background, a helper who's quietly working and makes me smarter up front.
Yeah, we don't want AI to replace our jobs. We want us to make our lives simpler, very important, better or cheaper, also important. So this is what Nano's goal is, to really to utilize technology and make lives of millions of people easier, faster, cheaper, better.
Awesome. Well, you know what? You've got, I am going to be dialing you up right after we finish downloading the show and making you famous, hopefully a little bit famous. We're going to use this as a test project. I'm going to be putting it up on BrandDIY to track the results that I've gotten, because there's no reason, there's virtually zero sales now. There's no ad, there's no nothing pushing this out. So we can start, if we get any results, it will be because of you.
Wonderful. Looking forward to it.
Awesome. Sasha, thank you so much for taking this time. I'm going to download this, and then throughout the day, people will be looking at it. I'll also be putting it on YouTube, and so that more people outside the BrandDIY group can take a look at it. But thanks so much for taking the time.
Wonderful. Thank you very much, Marc.
I'm so excited about selling my book.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
Take care.
Take care. Bye, everyone. Bye.